Uh-oh. You'll have to wait. Let's go eat. I'm hungry. Should be warm enough, I don't know. That was a process putting that toilet back on. But, I'll trip down the steps. Okay. So should I have chocolate milk or beer? I bought a couple beers. Oh yes, beer and ice cream. Oh hey, Lucky, how are you been? Wonderful dessert flavor to it. Coffee beer essence with a little hint of chocolate. Oh, look at that, supervisor. Gently fill the glasses with the stout, and then take a good scoop of coffee ice cream. Scoop in each glass. Stout beer. Top it off and finish with stout. You can see that creamy head on top. How you doing, Bandit? So this is something you definitely want to share with somebody you care about. No, you can't have any. It's not my fault you're not eating. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I shaved this off weeks ago. Zoom with the clippers in the driveway. Oh, well, if you want to learn how to repair a toilet, that was the earlier video tonight. No. Well, I have a pickup truck I'm borrowing. Luckily, he hasn't taken it back yet. Okay. Ooh, what do we got under this? Oh, let's look at that. It's expensive to drive. Look at that. Got some teriyaki beef and shrimp from yesterday and some leftover vegetables from the day before. Lenore, you're not into toilet repairs. Let's see, the thing is, at least, the beauty of at least learning how stuff works is when you hire someone, you might know if you're getting taken or not. What are you doing, Bandit? Should we have a beer or chocolate milk, Bandit? All right. This fool is, but bye. Jesus. Okay, we're gonna have some beer. The best ice. Milwaukee's best ice. Was that a strange comment? Jeez. Such bizarre stuff some nights. Oh, here's that sound. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's the first beer I've had in weeks. I've got some high. Oh, here, Kathy. You can diagnose. Let's see. Let's get some light on the subject. Hold on here. What do you think, Kathy? Trailing up the arm. Some sort of hives? Itchy, spreading up the arm. Also on my, down here on my belly. Spreading around the waist. What do they call that? Bilateral? That was a strange one, yes. Yep. That part I can deal with, but the very last part of that comment was not acceptable. I did get some. My friend gave me some steroid cream. I think he said he had the same basic thing. Ooh. Mm. Still warm even. Either an allergy or I don't know. Who knows what it could be? Allergy means lots of testing to prove it. Oh, hey, Huck. First beer I've had in weeks. I really like this beer, man. I'm telling you, you cannot beat this stuff. It's got a good taste and it's damn reasonable. Let's see here. Go back here. Where is... Guess there's bunches of rockets going up in the air. Israel and Lebanon. You have, Denise? Well, we'll see. I'll look for it. Thank you. If that's true. Oh, it tastes good. Oh, yes, you're into all that, aren't you? Oh, let's fix the tripod so it doesn't fall off the phone. The phone doesn't fall off the... This is how we fix the tripod. Folded paper. There we go. Saturday nights are a lousy TV night. None of my stuff is on. They put all these different shows on. Look at Bandit. Look at Bandit. Just trying to get closer to the food. What are you doing? Bandit, what are you doing? Bandit? What are you doing? Say hello. Hello, Bandit. What are you doing? Yes. I know you want. He's been bad. He won't eat his dry food. He's having a protest. like, no, you got to start eating some dry food again before I give you more wet food. Well, they definitely have a right to defend themselves. Other things, that's also an issue. It's a mess over there. It's a mess. Hey, Matt. Oh, it's leaking water. Yeah, well, this one wasn't even connected to the floor. Look at him. Look at him. He's inching his paws. Look at him. Oh, if I just sneak a paw up on that plate, I know I can get some food. I couldn't believe when I realized, oh, this thing wasn't even bolted down. Oh my God. People do the silliest stuff. Never let your tenants repair shit. I mean, that turned out into a lot more work, having to cut the tile, grind down the cast iron even a little bit. Yeah. Where are you at, Lenore? Yeah, these are the big cans. These are 24 ounces. Oh, you're Australia. Okay, couldn't remember. Courier. 375 milliliters. Does this give me milliliters? 1 pint, 8 fluid ounces. 0.709 liters. So almost double what your cans. You only have one size can? That's not acceptable. I remember in the early 80s, I'm going out to my friends in LA a lot back then. And we go up to the sushi restaurant that we would go to a lot, a lot. They're very good friends with these people, and they back then they ate out almost every night. They all worked in the industry out there, TV or the networks or radio, and they made boatloads of money back then. And we'd go up to the sushi bar, and I go the first time with Bruce, and I said, Bruce, we were sitting at the bar, and Bruce, I says, you got to order from me. I don't know anything really. So he orders beer first, and they bring out, this is early 80s. He brings out two tall glass bottles of beer, 25-ounce bottles of beer. And I go, what's that? He goes, that's beer. And we're going to drink like 7 of them. And I'm going, okay. In Ohio, we did not have 25-ounce bottles of beer for 10 more years. It took a long time for that to get here. So it was Sapporo. 2 for 1, yeah. These are only like $1, maybe a buck 50 at the gas station. Look at him. Look at him. Look at this guy. What are you doing? What are you doing? Bandit. What are you doing? What are you doing? He's like, I don't hear you. I don't acknowledge you. What are you doing? my God. I've created a monster with him. Are you going to eat broccoli? He might. Minty, hello. Oh, dang, that tastes good. I dropped this phone, fell out of the tripod. Oh, no, it didn't fall out of the tripod. The whole mess fell into that cast iron tub there tonight. I thought something broke. Do I remember Cali? What, California? Or your name was Cali? Oh, I don't know. A lot of people I remember, but it's not quite sure. Cars driving in, cars driving out. Well, welcome again. I gotta say, this teriyaki stuff my buddy bought me the other day, it's damn tasty. Look at him. What are you doing? What are you doing putting your paws on there? He's like, this is the edge of the plate. He's like, I'm torturing him. Well, yeah, California's, I mean, got lots of different challenges depending where you're driving. Yep. I spent a lot of time out there in my life. One trip alone was 10,000 miles just in California. Yeah, it's getting a little cooler here now. This summer has been a very hot one. I was listening to a story about Phoenix and the heat, the highs, the nighttime highs. The nighttime highs have been higher than, like, I think they might have said they were even higher last year. But they had more nighttime highs where the low was over 90 degrees. And it doesn't give a human body a chance to rest, to recover from daytime heat. And they said they've had, crazy amount of deaths. Um, yeah, that's crazy hot. No, they don't have the humidity, but the heat still hurts you. Heat is, I think, the biggest single weather-related death thing. They were 100. Look at him. Look at him. What are you doing? Look at this guy. I gave him a piece of beef. Oh my God. Should I give you a piece of shrimp? Oh, there's a piece of shrimp. Look at that. Shrimp on the Barbie. You haven't been eating your dry food. I don't know. Are you fasting or protesting? I'm not sure what you got going on. Well, we were going to go to the Chinese buffet in Lorain County, but it got so late fixing the toilet. Uh-oh. They're reviewing can openers. I gotta watch this.
Your lid, including the lip, comes off. So that's your safety lid. There's no sharp edges. We tested 7 different can openers. The price range was a low of $8 to this is a $55 can opener.
Think about the tuna you can buy with that.
It's incredible. We had a squad of testers open at least 20 cans, ranging from small 6-ounce cans of tomato paste to test them on tight curves, beans and tuna for medium curves, and then 28-ounce cans of tomatoes for the wider, gentler curves. And they were assessing how easy these can openers were to attach, operate, and detach. And frankly, the ease of operation was more important to them than the edge of the lid.
Sure.
You know, if you're careful with a regular lid, you won't cut yourself.
Well, exactly. And if the wrong can opener, you can't even get inside.
What are you doing?
You have to start gnawing through it again. Some of these safety openers were not intuitive. It was sort of hard to tell when a safety opener was attached because when you put a regular traditional opener on and you click it into place, you can feel that click, you can hear the
Good night, Lenore.
you can see that the cutting wheel is attached, you're good to go. With these safety openers, the cutting wheel, the view is blocked, so you don't always know, and it doesn't have that puncture, so you don't really know that it's attached, and that was the problem. Now, I want you to try.
I love this program.
That's a dupe of this guy right here. Try opening that can with that one.
All right. I can tell you I live in fear of this type. Because it is... I'm not even sure. Maybe that... I don't know.
All right, so
yeah,
that
see,
one,
nothing's happening.
Yeah, you can tell that's not intuitive. Another problem with the safety can openers is that testers noticed every now and then when they pulled the lid off, they would see these yellow strings of glue coming off, probably from the label.
Oh.
Never got into the food, but really, why risk it?
Sure.
In terms of ease of operation, you can see that these handles on the top, which you turn to open the can, those are called the driving handles. There were different styles, different shapes, different materials. None of them were uncomfortable for any of the testers, but one of them was great. And it was this one, because it was the longest one. It was 3.5 inches, so it was really smooth and easy to turn.
Good leverage there.
And in fact, this is our winning can opener. This is the Easy Does It can opener, traditional style, about $10. Anyone can pick it up, open a can, no gnawing required, no lessons required.
No embarrassment. There you go.
There you go. There's your can
Easy
opener.
Does It can opener, and it's $10.
I love that program. Oh, they're going to make shrimp. I love watching them make shrimp. 3-2. Oh, yeah. Most definitely. Drank a lot of that. Not every state had it, but Ohio did. 3-2 beer for 18-year-olds. Yeah, I've consumed my share of all alcohols. Oh, well, maybe I might know something about in the 80s or 70s, was it? Going to Colorado to get Coors beer. I wouldn't even drink that stuff now. I wouldn't pay for you to drink that stuff now. Bandit, what are you doing? What do you want this shrimp? He's like, shrimp is good. Oh, we hustled beer from a few states a few times. truckloads of it. You could sell anything in Cleveland back in the day. You got quarters? Oh, he's freaking out over this shrimp. What was that noise? What, do you like rice? See if you'll eat some rice. I think I looked it up. Rice is okay for cats. No, he doesn't like it. You like it? I was like, frick, no, man. There's shrimp and meat. Why would I want rice? What are you doing to me? Bandit. You're not going to eat the rice. Well, then I'm going to throw it out. You're not even trying. You like it or no? Probably not. Weird texture. Weird texture. Hey, stop that. Peter Santinello. It's amazing how many channels are on YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube. You have to kind of work to get out of the rut of what you do watch because of how they send you stuff. A couple of people said that they're not getting notifications at all from me, and my numbers are down on my when I go live anymore. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Touch that shrimp. He really likes shrimp. That's a lot. I mean, I would love to get those kind of numbers someday. Gotta work at it better. It grew a lot for a while, but I've also slowed down. But just seeing the numbers of people that come into my streams anymore seems to be lower. And a few of my followers have said they're not getting notifications. So YouTube can screw with you on purpose, you know. They deem you not worthy or whatever. Oh, he's got 3 million. Wow, that's big. No, Bandit. Hey. So you want broccoli, huh? You think you're going to eat broccoli? Let's see if he eats broccoli. You going to eat that? He took it. It's tender, tasty. He ate broccoli. He always amazes me what he eats. Bam, bam. Wow, 80 to 3 million. That's huge jump, man. Jesus. I'm not doing enough stuff regularly that, but you're not watching them live. You're watching videos also. I need to start putting videos up. That's a whole different market than the live feeds. I need to do some editing and stuff. That shrimp looked pretty good. What are you doing in that bag? That's my chocolate milk. I don't think you ever even liked chocolate milk. That guy. I'm trying. I'm still in a mess with my life, but still above ground. Okay, let me look this guy up here. Come on. That's a really giant jump, man, from 80,000 to 3 million. Wow. Here he is, Pete Santinillo. I wonder if I've seen him or not. I wasn't subscribed. Wow. 500 million views. That's pretty big. He's making some bucks. He's figured it out. I'm good at tours. I need to work on stuff like that more. Oh, court. Yeah, I mean, I fixed one tractor at my buddy's house. Got the other part in for the other zero turn mower. I hope that's all it is. Broken wire. Fixed the toilet today. I hope your court thing's not too serious. I've been there. I'll have to watch a couple. I may have seen him. I'm not sure. He looks almost familiar, but maybe not. Oh, I got no room to really wait for anything anymore. I'm so behind on everything. Oh. East Palestine. Well, I've wanted to go there. I'm close, but I haven't really had wheels, and that costs money to drive. I mean, if I had the money, I would be taking you guys lots of places. But even a cheap drive to East Palestine, if I had a decent small car running, would cost probably 25 or 30 bucks in fuel, maybe 20 bucks at least, plus the time. Oh, family courts are, yeah, I've got a friend who wrote a book about family courts in Las Vegas. Yeah, he got put through, he's a journalist, and he wrote a pretty cool book about it. Family courts can be evil. Oh, David, hello. Thank you, Erm. I did read most of it, Matt. Oh, I got no education. Everything, construction and trade wise, I've learned on in real life. I mean, my dad, we was remodeling the house when I was a pup, digging out the basement by hand. Then uh, then they bought 3 nursing homes within like a year, and at age, well, let's see, I was born in 1592, so I guess I would have been 390 then. Um, I became a maintenance man, and I was fixing 50-pound washing machines and kitchen equipment and hospital beds, and you know I was always mechanical, always into cars, taking them apart. Usually somebody else's car, taking apart for profit. First Cybertruck. I keep forgetting if I've seen one. Yeah, I'm not impressed. Um, so everything I learned, I'm a very visual learner, and I can repeat what I see, and I know how to work with tools. You have to know how to work with tools. That's another thing. I know what all the tools are. So then after we sold the nursing homes, I did that for like 10 years. Well, actually, before that, I started my first real maintenance job in the largest de- suburban department store that Ohio had at the time, giant building. So I learned about boilers, I learned about elevators, I learned about big central air conditioning, chillers, and I always was like the electrician. A lot of places I was at, so I built that up. I did have an electrical state contractor's license for a while. I screwed up on that when they changed it. I did fire alarms for decades, commercial fire alarms, security systems, electrical, everything from a doorbell to 480 volts, lots of HVAC repair. There's not much of anything I don't know something about. That's a problem sometimes, or a blessing. Message held for review. They hid your comment, Matt. um, yes, family court is uh, a whole nother universe. Here, I can find the book probably. Hold on here. He wrote this decades ago, and unfortunately, Glenn passed away. I just found out he passed away a few years ago. Blew my mind a little. He was a brilliant researcher. he found out tons of information about Area 51 back in the day. Glenn was brilliant. What's going on with this phone? This phone's slow anymore. Did that catch up? I think it caught up. Let's see here. Looking for Glenn's book here. Books by Glenn Campbell from Las Vegas. Oh, here we go. It's on Amazon. So, go look this up. This is on Amazon. Glenn Campbell, just like the singer. The case against marriage. I think that's the book. Let's see here. Read the full bio here. Glenn was really famous for his Area 51 stuff, big time famous. He appointed himself the unofficial family court guy in Las Vegas. So he actually also was in family court a little bit with his world, his personal world, I think. Well, you don't have to spend a lot, really, depending what you're reading and how you get it. You know, you can get anything from a library for free. And libraries can borrow stuff through interagency loans. You just might have to wait a little. You know, the same with DVDs and music. You can get anything through libraries. I mean, and there's a lot of really good free reading sites and audiobook sites now that don't even cost you anything. Yeah, Glenn. I knew Glenn in the 80s. That's when I met him first. I was chasing around out there in the desert also. I was going after lots of things, not just the one thing like he was. Yeah, I have been bad at reading. I mean, I need a good place to sit and read. I think that's part of it. But I've gotten away from it. I've got a friend who's read over 5,000 books and he owns all of them. Another guy I follow now on Twitter, very interesting, ex-military, I think Navy guy, Jack Hopkins. Very smart, cool guy. And one thing he's been doing his whole adult life, I think, is reading a book a week. He says he's up to 1,500 books. Book a week or 3 books a week? Quite a bit of reading. He definitely a reader. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Nicholas has got a lot of books. I do too, actually. I've got I don't know how many books are in this house. I haven't read them all though, but they got nice pictures. Now, Nicholas is over 90, very studied guy, traveled the world. He's done a lot of interesting stuff. I need to get down to Canton, Ohio. I hope he's still alive. I haven't. Let me send him an email. The heck was that? Hearing things. Let me send him a quick email. No, that's wrong. I'm doing this wrong. Oh my gosh, silly boy. Compose. Nicholas, hello. It's Daniel. I hope you get this, and I hope you're well. Comma, I've been meaning to get a hold of you. Comma, let me know if you're still on this side of the lawn. Raccoon, sorry. And boy, are the days short and nights long. Raccoon. Yeah, I've not had kids, and I can't imagine, I guess, how much extra stuff you have to do the first, especially the first year, you know. Yeah. Are you learning anything, Bandit? They're making wine. Yeah, one of the few things I've noticed, or because when you look out of these eyes, you don't see this. You see what you've always seen. You see the world as the way you've seen it, and that's kind of, I think, frozen at age 35 or so. And I still feel young most days, even though I'm slow and painful and fat or whatever. But you still look upon people as you did at around age 35. I is what I've noticed. And yes, time is a different relativity when you get older. Uh, Days definitely can go faster, unless you're very busy, I think, because there's not as much that's new. you've experienced so much. So the only way to make the days longer is to constantly experience new stuff. So for me, that would mean travel. So I'm always seeing new things because I know everything around here. There's nothing in 5 counties I haven't seen, around the Cleveland area. There's just nothing. I mean, there's a few things, but there's nothing really interestingly, cool and different. I've been everywhere. You're not 20. Yep, exactly, Al. You know, and you know, I still want to go do a lot of stuff that I've always done my whole life. Whether it's lifting something heavy, climbing a ladder, doing whatever, I can still do most of it. If I could get rid of the belly and get in a little better shape, I could definitely still do a lot of it. You know, I mean, I've lost so many friends this year already. Some of that is just luck. A big portion is genetics. Okay, what just beeped here? Mm, nothing special. Oh, hey, Nate. Yeah, well, the older you get, the more you're going to lose if you are paying attention or know about it. But yeah, well, 3 women from high school. I think they all died suddenly. One didn't die so suddenly, I found out. But not sure if they figured out everything with her. Another good friend came down with cancer, liver cancer. Healthy as heck guy. His mom is in her 90s. Another gal, 36 years old, an amazing drummer. Had the world by the balls after she moved up to Michigan. After COVID was over, she starts playing music again, and her legs started giving her trouble. And she started to lose the use of her legs, so she moved back to Cleveland. They don't know. They were still waiting on tests. It took a year. This stuff killed her in a year. Then she lost the use of her arms. They think it's Lou Gehrig's disease. 36 years old, healthy. Just the randomness of shit comes along. Another good friend, older than me, died. Cancer and a bunch of other maladies caught up with her. She wasn't really healthy. Um, my sister, cancer, smoking probably. I mean, we're very resilient, but you just never know. Yep, yep. Oh, I'm sorry, that guy. Yeah. I mean, I'm older than my father. I was going to look his. I don't rem- his dates. I don't know his dates very well. think I'm older than him, though, I'm sure. What are you doing, Bandit? Yeah, that happens sometimes, that guy. You just, you know. I mean, my dad died in 85. That's a long time ago. I need to rent the downstairs, not the up. That's where I would live. Well, yeah, but it takes time and money, and I haven't. I'm bad. I'm really behind the eight ball on all that, Nate. I've been working on stuff, but I'm pedaling backwards. It's been hard for me to stay motivated. Oh, Sneaker, hello. Is this Sneaker Girl or a different Sneaker? What are you doing, Bandit? I always think he's doing something wrong. I think I remember you telling me that. How you been? Are you over your... Yeah, didn't you have the concussion? Oh, yeah, said Elizabeth. Don't forget. Yep. That's good. No, he's not a talker. He barely meows for food. That's about it. He's not a talker. He's not super affectionate like the cat who was helping me change the toilet tonight, Mr. Whiskers. Oh, he's a lonesome solo dude. He's a bachelor. Bunch of leftover Asian food. Some teriyaki chicken and beef rice with fried rice from yesterday, and then I dumped some vegetables I saved from some other, what was it, broccoli and beef the other day. I saved the rest of the vegetables, and that really filled this out pretty nice. It's the first food I've eaten all day. I got up late. My buddy called, said, or to message me and said, "We got to go fix the toilet." You mean I got to go fix the toilet? He got here a little after 4. We got back 9:30 or later, 10 o'clock maybe. Load tools up, get out of here, drive to Home Depot, get some parts, go to Berea, start figuring stuff out. Oh, I need more stuff. Go to Home Depot again, and come back and finish. Oh, hey, Steve. Um, Stadium downtown. I personally think it should be downtown somewhere, and I personally think that it could go somewhere. But again, the people that are going to rent the stadium, because it's going to end up being city owned, most likely. You know, the Haslams could do what they want, sort of. So I don't care, but it's going to hurt downtown if it's not. It's going to hurt downtown. No. I did fix some lightning strikes on a house on the east side once. It blew holes in some of the water lines and messed up some of the electric because it just went wherever it wanted to through the house. Been a little close to a lightning strike, but not real close. No, been electrocuted plenty of times. Not the same. Sort of. I don't know. My first electrocution was like age 7. There was a electric blanket box, I think, on my mom's bed in the back room, and there was a twist tie, paper twist tie. I folded it up into a U, and I plugged it in as I held it. I think that trip got me. That got me at one of my. That was probably my second trip to a hospital. So maybe that's why I became an electrician. That probably was my second trip to the hospital. That's why forks are dangerous. That won't fit into a receptacle. My friend is so funny. His nephew, his nephew and wife, and I think a Chinese takeout place that he worked for a little bit. That woman or that couple are going downtown Cleveland tomorrow to a really nice new steakhouse. But my friend is not someone who knows about any restaurants in Cleveland. Even though he started 10 Chinese restaurants, he's not a foodie. He's not a diner. He doesn't go try restaurant foods. And he goes, "Oh, that's a expensive place. It's like $60 a steak." And he's got plenty of money. But he is so funny about stuff like that. It's like, and I go, "Yeah, what? You don't ever go out to nice meals?" And he doesn't. Maybe when he's traveling. But I don't know that he's not really a drinker either or a wine guy. So for him to go spend money, and he's always impatient. He's always in a hurry. He doesn't like sit and just enjoy the moment, with his friends. He does, but rarely. Oh, got sunburnt. Oh my. So I guess it was right after we landed on the moon, a few years after. We went to Puerto Rico. I fell asleep in the sun at the pool in Puerto Rico. When I came home, a whole bunch of my friends came out to the airport to greet us. It was hilarious. They had signs and everything. It was really comical. I was about that color. I was lobster red, man. I was so burnt. I was crisp. Oh my gosh. Tropical sun, man. Oh, oh, man. They made so much fun of me. Oh, really? Is that where you guys went? It looked really good, Steve. Happy birthday again. I know you guys enjoy food. I think everybody here knows I enjoy good food. You know, I don't get to go out to really good food like I'd like to. I used to go a lot, but no. I've had some really good food in my life. Vegas, LA, DC. Hey, Steve, did you ever get into the old Harrah's on the Strip back in the day? I don't know how long you guys have been out there. The Golden Stair. Yeah, I haven't had a really super vacation in decades. When I was traveling doing the work, you know, the deliveries, that was a lot of fun. I'd get a day or two here and there, and that was very enjoyable for me. Still have your Harris cards? Nice. So, did you ever go to the restaurant that they had, the secret little, really nice restaurant on that mezzanine level? Claudine's, named after one of Hera's daughters. I'm always ready for snow. I know how to dress and drive. I had a few good meals at that place. Oh my. Oh, dropped a piece of rice. I got all this food shows on. Hmm. What is this? These are really good programs on PBS. America Reframed. If you want to look at a really interesting series that looks at America, these are great programs.
Age 10. We recognize our lineage as a generational trust. Jake. As inheritance. Age 10. $600. And the real dilemma posed by reparations is just that. Joe P. A dilemma of inheritance. $1,200. Jay. By the 1900, there were something like 1 million black people who had actually been slaves, who were still around. If the government had given reparations to those small number of people, perhaps the question would not have come back to bite them later on that nothing had been done.
Now, when we come to Washington, we are coming to get our check.
We speak the names of those who came before us. Barada.
Ashe.
Bars.
Ashe.
Black Love. Ashe. Blair.
Our country is so messed up.
Of reparations.
I have a few Republican friends who one had never even really heard of Project 2025. And that's because he pretty much doesn't watch anything that would probably talk about it. And he doesn't believe any of the stuff that's in that. He says it's no, that can't be true. Yeah, you don't think that they would enforce some of that crap? And he wonders why I get passionate and aggravated and loud about issues like this. What prices, Nate? No, that's when you get a handful of companies that own all the food and a handful of companies that control all the oil. They can do whatever they want, and they have been, especially the food companies. Try to buy a half gallon orange juice. You can't buy a half gallon orange juice. It doesn't exist. Make it smaller, charge more. Food. Just look up lots of documentation about shrinkflation. These companies are just greedy. You know, look at these venture capital companies buying up housing. There's a county next to Atlanta. 3 companies have bought up like 9,000 homes. 3 companies. So there's 9,000 houses that are not on the house for sale market anymore. They're only out there for rent. This is evil stuff, man. This is taking wealth away from people that would want to get a piece of property and build something. This is evil stuff. $16 for a carton of eggs. What are you buying? They're not even that expensive at Walmart. I mean, Sam's Club. Eggs aren't that expensive at Aldi's or Mark's. You buying organic AAA eggs or what? Eggs don't cost that much. They've gotten expensive. You can buy cheaper priced eggs. It's out there. I think Marks and Aldi's have good prices on eggs. Save a lot too. In Massachusetts, really, that's cool. Definitely a better product. Instead of like going out in Lorraine County and seeing these giant chicken barns. Or maybe not Lorraine County, but Huron County. Lorraine County. My friend Phil is doing it right. He's raising his own chickens, gets his own eggs. Price is high. In New Jersey, they still pump your gas. Well, it is, Tom. Doesn't mean every price is going to change. Interest rates for housing are down. You don't think we should support Ukraine or Israel? Go ahead. Let Putin start to do worse things.
Adam Keller gave Z. Quarterman in the 1800s.
When we found out the land was given to Zeke, he came alive again to us.
I think they have worked a lot on the Flint, Michigan. It may not be perfect. I don't. I know they spent a lot of money there and they did a lot of repairs. I don't know how. I haven't looked at that lately. I was just looking at. My friend asked me, "What do they do with all the money that they put out there for building electrical vehicle charging stations?" So, I drove a Tesla for a while. I'm an electrician. I know a little bit about all this. So I looked it up. They've earmarked billions for this, but the money goes to the states. The states get these grants and issue the money to people that will do the projects. They have to set up guidelines for how you apply to get the money. Nothing happens overnight. Even if you had the money in hand, the tens of thousands of dollars to build an EV power charging location, you got to get permits. You got to have plans drawn. You got to figure out where you're going to put these things. What parking lot are you going to put it in typically? Is there enough power on the local power grid to support an EV charging station? Then you got to requisition a transformer from the power company. They've got to come up with the transformer and get that wired in. Then you got to do the field work, digging the area up, building the islands, or however you're going to mount the pumps, and get the transformers that run those pumps. It takes a year to 2 years to do an EV power station. From the day you say, I want to put one in Strongsville, it's probably a minimum of a year. The one that they built on the east side, the Tesla supercharger at 79th and Euclid, took well over a year. I ran into the guys from Tesla. He says it took well over a year to get that one commissioned. So none of this stuff happens fast. The money's there. Projects are moving forward. I just read a really good article about it. But, it takes time for some things to just happen. Well, yeah, I mean, the grid needs a bit of work to support a really significant change in in how it would operate with a lot of electric cars out there. Personally, I tell people buy a hybrid unless you really can just afford to deal with an EV. If you get a hybrid, at least you can go anywhere you want, anytime. My friend's Prius, I mean, they drove from here to Florida and back last year, over 3,000 miles, cost them $168. Plug in, hybrid Prius. Bandit. Where did he go? Oh, there's a piece of shrimp left.
Callie House, she was born a slave. She went out all around the community telling black people that they ought to ask the government to get some money because men they were poor and they were desperate by the 1900s. She had 300,000 dues-paying members. It was the largest organization of black folk that had existed. Pretty soon, her activities came to the attention of the government, and they convicted her of fraud. The federal charge was that at a time when you should have known that the federal government would never give Negroes anything, why were you telling Negroes they should organize to try to get something? They sent her to prison to serve a one-year term. She got out of prison. She went back to Nashville to this shotgun house. She got uterine cancer and she died. You can draw a direct line from Callie House to the reparations movement today.
Marcus Garvey stepped on the scene in 1914 asking for reparations. He created the United Negro Improvement Association, the largest organization of people.
Yeah, well, I mean, the change, from combustion engines to electric is going to take a big time. It's going to take time. I mean, even when they went from horse and buggy to cars, it took a while. You know, but we don't make buggy whips anymore, as they say. Oh, my friend, we were just talking about the Japanese concentration camps, the internment camps. We were just talking about that today. Oh, that's a clean plate. The 60s. Ugly, ugly times. The Klan. Charlottesville. There's fine people on both sides. I mentioned that to my friend the other day. He goes, I never heard that. I never heard him say that. I don't know how you didn't. It was everywhere.
Thing unfold in slow motion that they just couldn't imagine was the case. It provided an opportunity for white Americans and non-black Americans to say, well, what can I do to make a difference?
This is America's tipping point for truth-telling and reconciliation.
All right, Bat. Take care.
People really.
I don't know if he was in the Klan, but his old man was a bastard too. I'm not sure if I've read anything on that, but just look at the hate in this country. I mean, I try to talk about this with one friend, and he doesn't agree. He says, "I don't see it." I says, "Well, you're not looking at it. You're not even looking for it. You're watching Fox News and whatever else he watches. He doesn't. He listens to a little bit of NPR now. I got him to turn on NPR, and I don't know what else he watches, but you know, it's like the ugliness from the other night about Tim Walz's son when his son was, overly joyous at his father coming on stage at the convention, and all these ugly, vile human beings came out and said, look at that. What is wrong with that human being? What, what's wrong with your kid, man? Fucking pieces of shit. If you haven't seen what some of these well-known people in this country said about Gus Walls, go look for it. It's disgusting. Unbelievably disgusting. One guy, some radio cuck, he lost his job. He got fired. Some right-wing radio cuck, iHeartRadio, fired him. Uh, You know, uh, all kinds of unbelievable. It's just I can't believe human beings some days. What are we about anymore when this is what they do? I don't know. What time is it? I don't know.
Slave labor. Then in 1838, facing deep debt, a pair of priests who each served as president of Georgetown sold 272 people to help pay the bills. Slaves were sent to plantations in Louisiana.
Welcome to our GU-272 Ancestral Pilgrimage Tour. Our ancestors were actually out this far. So you see the cane fields, right?
We are fifth
I know.
generation grandsons of
Sounds like everybody's a little tired or you're all sleeping yourselves.
manifest of the sale of 1838. None of us, as has been said, knew anything of that. And since that time, I have been focused on
Close
what
up here
did he do
too.
about it.
The Georgetown sale was one of thousands that forcefully migrated more than 1 million
See y'all later.
women and
Thanks for
children
coming out.
from Maryland,
Be nice, be
Virginia,
kind, check your
and
smoke
Washington,
alarms.
D.C.
There are about 10,000
And I travel
descendants,
to fix
and of
toilets.
that number, maybe half are still living. It's personal to me.